Hello, this is Opinion Radar. And if you're a mom who's ever been caught between wanting to say yes to your child's latest must have toy and wondering if it's just another gimmick, you're not alone. Today, I'm sharing my honest take on something that landed on my radar and my coffee table recently, the Taba Squishy Kit. As a mom who's always on the hunt for meaningful, screen free activities that we can do together, I was curious whether this little craft set could deliver more than just a momentary distraction. Priced at just $8, it seemed like a low risk experiment, but I'll admit, I didn't expect it to spark quite so much joy or curiosity. From setup to first touch, I've put it to the test with my girls, and what unfolded was more than just a craft project. Stick around because I'll walk you through every sticky, bubbly, surprisingly heartfelt moment. All right, mamas, let's talk about this Taba Squishy Kit because I'll be honest, when my daughter begged for it before Christmas, I was skeptical. $8 for a squishy toy kit? But her eyes were so hopeful, and after seeing how excited she was, I figured, why not? Now that we've made not just one, but three adorable little squishy hamsters, well, one hamster and two bunnies, we got creative. I can say this, it's a surprisingly fun little project for a mom kit afternoon. Everything you need is in the box: gel mix, a soft silicone mold shaped like tiny paw pads and animals, flocking, and even little eyes and glue. It's like a mini craft lab. My girls loved opening each piece, and even though the bottle of liquid is tiny, seriously, it looks smaller than a nail polish bottle. It was enough to make three squishy cuties, as long as you're careful with the amount you pour. The process itself is simple, but not without its quirks. The instructions? Well, let's just say they're basic. I read through them once and still had questions, especially about when to add the flocking and how to properly insert the eyes. We winged it, and honestly, that worked out fine. One thing I quickly learned: patience is key. The gel bubbles up a lot when you pour it, so I had to gently pop the bubbles with a toothpick, kind of like frosting a cake without the mess. And while the mold itself is super flexible and easy to work with, I noticed the ears on the animal shapes are delicate. So here's my tip: pour a little gel first, wait a few minutes for it to settle, then add the rest. That way, nowhere gets trapped in tricky spots. We let ours set overnight instead of just 2 hours like the instructions say, because the first batch was still a bit goopy after 2 hours, and that made all the difference. Now let's talk texture and feel, because that's what squishies are all about, right? Once everything was dry and fluffed up, the final result was actually really soft on the outside, at least. The flocking gives it that plush, velvety feel kids love. But inside, the gel is pretty thick, not as squishy as I expected. It's more firm than jelly-like. That said, my younger daughter still carries hers around everywhere, squeezing it during movie nights or when she's feeling anxious. It's like a tiny stress reliever in animal form. The bunnies we made turned out especially cute. We even added a touch of blush using an old eyeshadow, don't judge, which gave them extra personality. But be warned, before you add the flocking, these things are super sticky. One drip landed on my desk and, oops, left a slight stain. So maybe do this over a big tray or old towel, not your nice kitchen table. There are a few things I'd definitely do differently next time. First, the eyes they include? Too small, like almost invisible. They looked weird, like little black dots with no soul. So we swapped them out for some 4mm craft eyes I had from an old project, and BM. Suddenly our squishy hamster had character. Also, the glue they give you is just super glue, and the bottle tip is huge, way too big for tiny details. It squirts out like toothpaste. I switched to my fine tip super glue, and that made attaching the eyes so much easier. Honestly, buy your own eyes and glue. It's worth it. But other than that, the materials work. The mold is high quality, holds its shape, and the flocking is generous, plenty to cover everything. I was worried we'd run out, but we had some left over. Is it worth $8? That's the million-dollar question. If you're buying it for the final squishy alone, maybe not. You can get pre-made ones cheaper. But if you're buying it for the experience, that special mom and me crafting moment, the giggles when the bunny turns blue because someone added food coloring, lesson learned. Mixing dye into the gel is tough and messy. Then yes, totally. My daughters still talk about Squishy Day like it was some epic adventure. Even my older one, who usually rolls her eyes at crafts, got into it. It's screen-free, creative, and gives them a sense of pride when they hold something they made. Plus, sensory play is great for little hands and big feelings, and this delivers in that department. So, final thoughts? I wouldn't buy this every week, and I won't pretend it's perfect. The gel's thick, the instructions could be clearer, and cleanup needs planning. But as a one time fun project, absolutely. It sparked creativity, kept my kids busy for a few hours, and gave us something to bond over. Would I recommend it? Yes, but with a few caveats. Go in with low expectations, have extra craft supplies on hand, and prep your workspace like you're conducting a science experiment. Do that, and you'll end up with a batch of goofy, lopsided, totally adorable squishies your kids will love. And honestly, that's worth more than $8. If you're ready to squish the stress away and spark some sweet mom and me moments, give the Taba Squishy Kit a try. And don't forget to squish that like button and subscribe for more playful finds. Every squeeze reminds me how the messiest projects make the best memories. Let's make crafting magic together, one squish at a time.